Live. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and also go live to my Instagram and go ahead and do that as well and turn that around so everybody can see kind of what we're up to. Okay, guys. So this broadcast is going out across multiple channels to the Tested Hemp page, to all my Dr. D pages. And we have a special and kind of highly educated guest, Jen, right next to me, who's also a fellow Virginian.
Yeah.
So Jen, before we talk about all that really good looking cannabis behind you right there, how did you kind of start your journey in Virginia?
Oh, let's see. So my mother was going to school at University of Maryland, and we decided the other side of the Washington, D.C., which is the better state. I think I grew up in this, I went to high school in this beautiful little town called Reston, R-E-S-T-O-N.
Got it.
So those of some of us that are old enough to remember, there was a company back in the days called American Online, AOL. Yeah, so that was
what's going on.
That's
Mr.
where Reston
Nelson,
was
Vegas, baby, what's up? I'm just saying hi to all these fun people that are watching.
Okay, right
live.
On. Hey.
And so you ended up going to UVA?
Yeah. So that's right. Like, and again, going to Virginia, it's in-state, right? We were able to take advantage of the fact that I got into UVA, and I guess it wasn't a lot of money. It was really a financial decision. It's like, UVA in-state was a good choice, so I ended up going there. Yeah.
But really, I wanted to connect the dots. So at UVA, you learned a lot about what, like lighting and electrical engineering, or what was your training?
Oh, you're trying to go way back on my education.
I just want to let people know why you're smart enough to grow all this good weed.
I don't think you need to do all of that for me.
Well, maybe, but you're also building the lights, and you understand the wavelengths of the lights, and you're involved in all the science, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the harder things to find in the industry is some burners that like cannabis and smoking weed, but then they're not afraid to also have a routine, and they're getting up at 6 or 7 every morning, like we were all trained to do if you went to these hard degree programs and reading your research papers or self-educating or whatever.
Right. So if you twist my arm, yes, I got a degree in electrical engineering, but back then, electrical engineering wasn't really that cool. One of the things I remember one of the things that was one of our pickup lines. We would go up to the ladies and be like, hey, you can't spell geek without the double E. That usually is the end of the conversation. Usually that's it. It's over. It's like wah, 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 like no sound.
So that background allowed you to really understand how to be able to build what do we have today that is Sunscape.
Yeah. You definitely provided a good foundation for appreciation for engineering and science. All right. So that undergraduate degree just basically laid the foundation of what I call a way of thinking about things. An engineering discipline allows you to systematically approach a problem. There's various different methodologies to break down a problem. In a cultivation, and then that's one of the things that I really quite enjoy about building highly controlled environmental agricultural systems, is because you're developing a giant machine, you're developing a greenhouse, and there's also many different factors you're playing with, you're tweaking, and you need to monitor, you need to sense, and then by the way, the plant doesn't directly tell you what's wrong. I wish we can speak to the plant.
Speak to the weed plant.
Speak to the weed plant. I tried, believe me.
Jinzu, cannabis whisperer.
Yeah, I've tried, believe me. You get those stressful days, you just like looking at your plants like, please tell me, what the hell do you feel, right? What's wrong?
So long story short, with your double E background, you were able to come up with what is either on par or superior to any other sort of LED lighting system out there. And then kind of in a very smart fashion, similar to what I've done with building brands. You didn't walk before you ran. You came here in Oregon and you started a small scale, basically R&D grow, where you could dial your stuff in. You actually didn't want to do a shitty job. You wanted to do a good job. And now this is 5 years later, and so you have this beautiful little facility dialed in where you can bring clients to see the LED lights, see the grow, see the cannabis, and then see the basically the SOPs that you've kind of generated to grow now what is now not just you growing, but lots of people across the country, including some seriously skeptical guys in Boston that have now outperformed HPL or high pressure sodium light.
Yeah,
production?
HPS lights. Yeah, so that was incredible, right? So you remember meeting City Slicker Genetics. Joe's been an amazing guy.
Joe, if you're watching, what's up, bro? West Coast to East Coast.
Joe.
Boston.
So Joe's holding it down in Boston. He's an amazing breeder. You know, he bred, you know, French bulldogs. You know, my wife was immediately attracted to that. She was like, he's some Frenchies. And then, you know, but Joe's like, no, he's over that. So now he's breeding cannabis strains. So he actually flew out here, visited this facility, and then decided to take some of our lights back. And he's just been killing it. He sent me these pictures. I'm really, you know, learning from him quite a bit. I tell you, cultivation and again, running a cultivation facility is a very humbling experience. Every day you come to work, you feel like you're learning something from the plant, from the environment. So Joe's been hitting it. Yeah, he just recently hit 9 pounds of A-bud, you know, dried, cured flower in an incredible, only with 8 plants in a 4x8. You know, that's, you know, 32 square feet of canopy. That's just incredible. I mean, we know the guys that are out there that are going with 3 pound of light, you know, but 9 pound, he's done it consistently 4 different times.
And he just ordered what, 200 more?
Yeah, well, so he is definitely committed. You know, he believes that our lighting system is the right system for his style of growing, and he's committed to. I mean, we're committed to each other. Sunscape will do whatever it takes to make him succeed, and in the new market in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very cool. And then just to kind of, you know, wrap things up, we wanted to give everyone a little bit of an introduction to what Jen and I are doing up here, but we just had a group from Oklahoma or Texas leave the facility, and so they got, I think, what is, you know, a pretty cool thing, right? Not just some light salesman talking about, you know, light, right? But they actually got to see the light hanging pretty much in almost every stage of the plant's life cycle, right? They saw the clones upstairs, exactly. They saw the flowers, they saw the veg.
Yep.
And then, you know, you actually showing them how to, you know, operate the lights.
Yes,
with science.
That was interesting. I tell you, that was probably the youngest customer that I. Wow.
Jeez, walking in 500 racks to spin. We're 25.
Yeah, I think so. That was pretty impressive. You know, I think, hey, that's what America's about. This is what entrepreneurs is about. You know, if you do it right, if you know what you're doing. The guy said he was a high frequency, you know, trader. Yeah. So obviously a good guy, mathematics genius. So it was good. It was showing them how different stages. I think they were impressed about the density of the Bruce Banner. Mm-hmm. They were impressed with the growth of Rude Boyd OG in the 3rd week and the 4th week. So yeah, so I tell you, it was, you know, what just took place about half an hour ago is what I love doing. You know, I'm now at the stage we're proud about our little innovation center. We're proud of the fact that we worked really hard to clean every corner, to keep it clean every corner, to continue to you know, work hard at give love to these plants, and then we're being rewarded for it. So.
Well, and I think there's you know, it's a really interesting model that you've been able to deploy, right? With all your systems going into legal and licensed facilities across the country, you basically give yourself a really good footprint and network to deploy brands.
For sure.
Through your relationship. So, you know, without getting, I think, too much into that, Jen and I are hungry, and we're going to go get some sushi.
Yeah.
But I think it's the point we want to make is that, you know, we bring a lot of culture and just kind of experience, so you can enjoy listening to us talk about that and all of our friends and colleagues. But we also bring a lot of like science, which I think is a mystery to a lot of people. And a lot of that just isn't being presented in like a real way that people like to follow, right? It's one thing to have to read a book or listen to people, but when we can actually sit here and tomorrow or Monday night, you'll actually literally see us in the room next door podcasting from the grow. But if we can do this in an interesting way where people are able to follow through like the whole life cycle of us making medicine or growing, it'll be much more engaging. So we're going to be able to bring you guys a fun way to watch, Jen and I teach you the science of all this stuff. So what else, man?
That's about it. Yeah, we appreciate you, Dong, to give us the opportunity and the platform to talk to people.
Yeah.
The setup you got here is high tech, outrageously high tech. This is something pretty
Mobile
amazing.
ship.
Mobile battle station. So
Mobile battle
I'm
station.
super impressed. So
That's the
thank you
plan.
for being here. Thank you for being our partner. Thank you for being a friend. I appreciate it. Cool, man.
Well, I think, guys, we're excited. We have a huge database of users, hundreds of thousands of people, and where we've really been working with a lot of great people up in Los Angeles that are involved in the Bitcoin technology community out of San Francisco. So, yeah, Tested Hemp will be bringing all over California and nationwide soon. So stay tuned.